we are gonna do a Draker video. This one he put out two recently. One of them was the Draker Fixes Supergirl, How Not to Take Your Movie. I was debating on if I wanted to do that and decided, nah. What I think we'll do is we're gonna do his video about Shia LaBeouf. He did a crash and burn with Shia LaBeouf. Because I'm not sure exactly how deeply he's going to get into this, but Shia LaBeouf was one of the. I'm sure he'll bring this part up. He was like, for those of you that don't know who he is an actor. He played Indy's son in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and like he basically got so full of himself that when he was like walking the car, yeah, he's the just do it guy. And he basically became, he went completely fucking Hollywood. Completely fucking Hollywooded. Yeah, it was a Transformers. He did a lot of big movies. And he let it all go to his head, basically. So let's take a look at the crash and burn. I think he's starting to get himself back into Hollywood. So he was like for a while, I do think he was blacklisted because he let his ego take over. I thought maybe they started, giving him roles again, but I can't remember exactly. So the latest role that I knew that he had was in the movie with Brad Pitt. Fury, the War Daddy story. And like he was in Fury. That was like the newest film that I can think of that he was in. And Fury was from several years ago. Yeah, Paper Bag Guy. I'm thinking Drinker will talk about when he became Paper Bag Guy. He'll probably discuss that. But let's jump in and see. Let's look at the crash and burn story of Shia LaBeouf.
In an industry that's positively bursting with competition, one man holds a monopoly on high-profile, often tragic, and sometimes downright baffling career.
There it is. There's the paper bag moment, where it's like, and bear in mind, this was attention-seeking. Him doing this, I am not famous anymore. This is him desperately seeking fame and attention. That's why he did this. He was doing this on like fucking red carpets and shit.
Self-destruction. A man whose descent into every casting agent's blacklist was less a single PR disaster or box office flop, and more like a 10-year rollercoaster ride of occasional success, short-lived redemption, embarrassing downfalls, and increasingly sad and insincere attempts at reinvention. Yeah. I'm talking, of course, about Shia LaBeouf. Do it! A one-time child prodigy plucked from obscurity and fed into the Hollywood star-making machine. Before long, he was headlining billion-dollar franchises and being positioned as a generational talent. One of the chosen.
What made him famous in the first place? I think he got started with Even Stevens, but what catapulted him to stardom was Transformers. When he got cast into Transformers, that 100... I don't think he got famous from Holes. He got famous enough from Holes that he was able to parlay that into bigger blockbusters like Transformers. So it like he was known that like Holes is where Hollywood recognized, hey, this kid is a good actor. And then Michael Bay put him into Transformers. And, so Holes was like, you had Even Stevens, and then he transitioned into movies with Holes, which was another Nickelodeon film. And so he was able to, he was staying within the company. And then Holes, in my opinion, is what catapulted him, or Holes got his foot in the door with Transformers, and Transformers literally rocketed him to his brief stardom.
Few who would lead the industry for the next decade or more.
You sure about that?
Yes, he
But
was an
fame
iRobot
exacts
in
a
a
heavy
small
price
part.
on any man, dear viewer, and pretty soon LaBeouf's personal demons and insecurities manifested themselves in high-profile public meltdowns, constant arrests, substance abuse, and bizarre wannabe artistic PR stunts, all of it gradually chipping away at his Hollywood bankability until finally, there was nothing left. Shia LaBeouf's career downfall was part tragedy, part comedy, but always 100% fascinating. So let us embark on this crash and burn journey into the rise and fall.
Oh my god, I forgot. I didn't realize he had a fucking rat tail when he did this. Look at that fucking rat tail that he's got draping over his shoulder. I forgot he had that.
Fall of Shia LaBeouf, shall we? Shia Sadie LaBeouf was born in California in 1986, the only child of a jewelry designer and a professional clown.
Of course.
What the fuck? He later described his parents as weird and hippies, but also described his father as, quote, tough as nails and a different breed of man.
Really?
Because truly, nothing says tough as nails, no nonsense manly man like balloon animals and kids' parties. Anyway, as is the tradition.
That's what the professional clown that he was. Because when Drinker just said professional clown, I was thinking circus. I was thinking either circus or maybe even rodeos. I wasn't thinking birthday parties. Hang on, I'm legit curious now. Hang on. I am legit curious about his father. Hang on. Let's see. Do we have his parents? Los Angeles. Okay. Okay, let me see if I can find him. Jeffrey LaBeouf. Let's see. Okay, biological summer. Okay. He used to be a soldier. He was military. Okay, he was military. Hang on. What kind of clown was Jeffrey LaBeouf? Okay, there we go. Okay, here we go. Yes, found it. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. So he did an interview with Medium Magazine, and let's see, blah, 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 blah. Okay, Jeff has been a soldier, rodeo clown, biker, poet, and a painter. So yeah, it was. Oh God, he has also been a drug addict, a weed dealer, and a convicted sex offender. Hey, fuck! I was not expecting that. Okay, that was unexpected. That Shia LaBeouf's father was an addict, a dealer, and a convicted sex offender. Holy crap! Was not aware of that. Holy shit. Okay. Wow. Plot twist. So yeah, so Shia LaBeouf's dad was not like a party clown. He was like a rodeo clown, as a professional rodeo clown, and apparently he was a professional other things too. Fuck. That explains a. That does explain a lot though with the path Shia LaBeouf. So that would explain why his dad was really strict and really hard on him. And yes, now the behavior with going a little schizo, drugs and alcohol abuse, the downfall, now it makes sense. Now this is making a lot of fucking sense.
On this series, his parents divorced when he was young, and with his dad suffering from chronic drug addiction, we lost a lot of good squeaky noses out there, son. It was left to his mum to support the family. Shia eventually drifted into the performance arts to escape his shitty upbringing, starting out as a performing comedian, and eventually landing an agent by pretending to be his own manager. Damn man, you've got to respect the balls on the guy if nothing else. His breakthrough came when he was cast as Lewis Stevens on the Disney Channel show Even Stevens. The show would run until 2002 and even landed him a Daytime Emmy Award. Hollywood sensed potential in the ambitious, unconventional young actor, and before you could say, "Give me your soul," he was starring opposite Keanu Reeves in 2005's Constantine. 2007's psychological thriller Disturbia won him critical praise.
What holes? No. He was starring in Holes before he was starring in Constantine and Disturbia. I think he did Holes when he was like what, 12 or 13 years old? He was young when he did that movie. Well, I'm surprised Draker skipped over that. Oh yeah, you guys didn't know he was in Constantine? Yeah, he played Chaz. He played Chaz, which again, it's like it was a big change from the comic book because Chaz is an adult who can't, who basically has like 100 or 300 souls in, like John put like 100 or 300 souls into him, so he's basically got like 100 or 300 lives. So every time Chaz dies, he uses up one of those lives and comes back to life. Yeah, Holes came out in 2003. When did Constantine come out? I'm trying to remember when Constantine came out. Was it 2005, 2006? Drake might have skipped Holes because it never saw a wide release. It was mostly a TV release. Yeah, but I would surmise that that's what propelled it. 2005. Okay, I was right. 2005. Yeah. Like, I would have surmised that Holes would have given him his foot in the door to Transformers. Maybe I'm wrong. I forgot. I thought that I didn't realize that Constantine and Disturbia came out before Transformers. So I guess I'm wrong. Maybe Holes did not propel him to get his foot in the door, perhaps.
But it was Michael Bay's big budget blockbuster Transformers that really put him on the map. The film brought in over 700 million worldwide, not bad for 2007, and launched not just Shia, but his co-star Megan Fox's careers into orbit. And well, it's not hard to see why. Ironically enough, she'd go on to have her own spectacular crash and burn a few years later, but that's a story for another day. For now, young Shia was riding high.
Actually, did Megan Fox have a crash and burn? I mean, like the whole Megan Fox thing. I thought that her issue was that she basically had an issue with Michael Bay. Like that was to the best of my memory, like the whole thing about her crash and burn. What was on the set of Transformers? That's why he wouldn't bring her back for Transformers 3. She was in live action of TMNT, but that was years after Transformers 2. Like after when she was filming Transformers 2, she basically said that Michael Bay acted like a dictator. It was a whole hubbubaloo, and that's why he did not cast her for Transformers 3 and replaced her with a different actress for Sam's love interest. But is there more to it? Maybe? Maybe I don't know. Maybe there's more to it than that. I didn't think there was much more of a crash and burn than that, but maybe there is.
And his co-starring role in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull the following year meant he was now headlining not one but two of the biggest franchises in Hollywood. I mean, say what you want about that movie, but it made a shit ton of money, and the ending made it pretty clear that Shia's character was being groomed as a possible successor to Indy. I mean, personally, I'd have taken 10 more indie films with Shia in the lead instead of whatever the fuck Dial of Destiny was supposed to be.
True.
With his...
And I agree with Draker on that. It's like, yeah, the whole thing was set up that basically the Indiana Jones franchise was going to continue and that Shia LaBeouf's character, Mutt, was going to take over the quote-unquote role of Indy. He was going to, it was going to like, I always consider Kingdom the Crystal Skull to be like a passing of the torch kind of movie, where it was one last hurrah for Indy, and he was going to be passing the torch on to his son, and his son was going to take up the mantle of his father being, the archaeologist adventurer. And yeah, Indy got his happy ending because he married Marion. Like that, like, yeah, that's where it would have gone. And then they did Dial of Destiny, and they fucking killed off Mutt. They fucking killed him off in World War II, and like with no preamble, and it was just like, what the fuck are you doing?
Career in full swing, more high-profile roles followed, including Wall Street 2. Fuck me, that film disappeared without a trace, didn't it? As well as
kidding.
2 more Transformers movies, each one getting progressively worse reviews, but raking in so much money that nobody seemed to care much.
Or Vietnam, you're right, it was
Vietnam,
Vietnam, not
was now
World War
openly
II.
touting
Sorry.
Shia as part of the new generation of hot young talent poised to take over the industry. Great stuff. Behind the scenes, though, problems were a-brewing. See, Shia had been struggling with alcohol addiction for years, and the problem only got worse as the spotlight on him got bigger. In 2007, he was arrested for public intoxication, and in 2008, he got into a major car crash, forcing Michael Bay to rewrite Transformers 2 to account for his injuries. Before long,
Shit.
arrests, rehab stints, and public apologies were becoming a regular feature of Shia's career. It was a tale as old as time, really. A man elevated to the heights of fame and cracking under the pressure.
If that's the reason why he didn't appear in the 4th Transformers, why Transformers 3 was Shia's last Transformers. Because after Transformers 3, they brought in Mark Wahlberg, who then basically was in the following, 2 or 3 Transformers? And I wonder if that's why they because of all of his problems, Michael Bay said, nope, no way, I'm not going to hire this, I'm not going to bring him back in. We're gonna bring in a whole new character. We're gonna go a different route.
Pressure. This was all bad enough, but in 2013 he was outed for plagiarizing another filmmaker's work with his short film HowardCantour.com. Shia would later issue a rambling public apology, which itself was plagiarized from a Yahoo Answers post.
Really?
Fuck, man, you couldn't make this stuff up if you tried. Then came the performance art phase of his career. Starting in early 2014, Shia began a series of bizarre PR stunts, like showing up to the Berlin Film Festival with a paper bag over his head, live streaming himself watching his own movies back to back for days on end, even sitting in a room with the infamous bag on, inviting people to watch him quietly crying to himself. Words cannot describe how awkward it must have felt to sit in a room with that fucking guy. Probably the most legendary stunt he pulled though was his epic motivational rant, which was basically just him screaming the Nike logo at the viewer over and over again. Just do it! Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it! And in that moment, dear viewer, a million internet memes were born. In Shia's head, it probably seemed like a daring and provocative exploration of fame, celebrity, and legacy, but for everyone else...
Wait, is he gonna do like the GeoGuessr art thing? Okay, I'm gonna wait to see if we're kind of okay. I'll wait to see if Drinker talks about it. But there's another like art thing that he did that was basically like a GeoGuessr capture the flag thing. But I'll see if he talks about it.
It just looked like the desperate actions of a washed-up has-been trying to reinvent himself as some deep-thinking, tortured artist, confusing cringy sensationalism with artistic depth. The frustrating part...
Drake! Oh my god, did you see that? He fucking spit! Watch him at the end here, he's like fucking drooling and spitting!
Confusing cringy sensationalism with artistic depth. The frustrating part though is that when he wasn't stealing other people's work, getting shit-faced and acting like a lunatic, he was actually still capable of delivering some pretty fucking strong performances. His work on Nymphomaniac and Fury both earned him critical praise and helped to keep him in circulation, but like everything else in Shia's career, he soon found a way to derail his short-lived redemption arc. His messy divorce from Mia Goth was followed by a brief but intense relationship with Twigs. Hey, don't look at me, man, I don't give a fuck about pop music. Which later blew up when she ended up suing him for every kind of abuse under the sun. The case would eventually get settled out of court, but the damage to Shia's career was permanent. You don't need me to tell you that Hollywood will overlook all manner of bad behavior, especially if you happen to be
Yes, you're absolutely correct. No, he did appear in a music video for Sia, where it was, Sia was like standing in the corner because that's what she does. Is Sia Sia, SIA. She stands in the corner and doesn't look at anything. She hides her face the whole time. And then like he's like doing this like it's like a weird art, like they did a weird art piece for one of her for a music video, like an art demonstration where it's like like there's a girl in a cage and he I guess it was called Elastic Heart. Like there was a girl in a cage and he like climbs into the cage or something. He's trying to romance her and it's like this really creepy romance looking thing. But the if memory serves, the girl in this video was like shockingly young looking and he was acting like he's trying to seduce her. Is like it was fucking creepy because this like dancer girl was like tiny and she looked extremely young and Shia looked like Shia. And it was like it was fucking creepy. It was really fucking creepy to watch.
Me to tell you that Hollywood will overlook all manner of bad behaviour, especially if you happen to be a bankable star, but there are some things too big even for them to sweep under the rug. And the fact is, he just didn't have enough industry clout for anyone to stick their neck out for him anymore. Netflix quietly removed his performance in Pieces of a Woman from awards contention, and not long after, Olivia Wilde nixed him from the cast of Don't Worry Darling, allegedly for being difficult to work with. He did at least land a role in Megalopolis, Francis Ford Coppola's doomed passion project, which is the Hollywood equivalent of winning a first-class ticket on the Titanic. So where on earth is Shia LaBeouf now? Well, he recently made headlines again for, you guessed it, drinking and fighting in public. This time in New Orleans, where he got into it with a group of gay men, decided it would be a good idea to shout homophobic slurs at them, and then acted surprised when he got his ass beat and a new arrest added to his records. You know, suddenly that professional clown gig doesn't seem so bad after all. He'll probably still show up in the occasional indie movie, maybe a TV appearance or two, but his days as an A-list star are long gone. He's too unpredictable, too toxic, too saddled with baggage for any serious productions to take him on anymore, and he doesn't have the body of work to absorb so many controversies. And it's a shame because when he's in the right movie and properly engaged with the role, he's able to do great things. The problem is, it just doesn't happen often enough to rescue his public image. Shia LaBeouf is a perfect example of what happens when you try to play the fame game without the tools needed to survive it. He's a man of obvious talent, but haunted by even more obvious demons, and no matter how hard he tried, no matter how many second chances he was given, in the end, the demons got the better of him.
What does this sound like?
Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
What does that sound like? Tell me that that story doesn't sound like, and ironically enough, it popped up here in the suggested. It sounds exactly like what happened with Ezra Miller. Exactly like what happened with him. Where he had he was a rising star, he went fucking schizo, drug and alcohol abuse, became unbankable because Hollywood did not want to deal with his insanity. It's just like Ezra fucking Miller. Yeah, victim of his own success. Exactly. Exactly right. Holy shit. Yeah.